Hey traders, welcome to another edition with Crypto Lab with Alex. Every Thursday, featured by Trading Analysis. I hope you are all well and sound. I would like to start this edition with one of the new opening things that my team has suggested as a cover for the Crypto Lab. So I will show you that one. If you like it, to have it in the future, just write in the comments. There has been a great show, very popular in the United States. It's called the Crypto Keeper. And our founder and trader Todd Gordon suggested we include that for the future crypto labs. So I mean, it's a kind of a creepy for me, but if you like it, guys, I'm very happy to introduce it as the introductory kind of opening site. So just write your comments in below, please. Let's start with our outlook. As I see today, most of our wave counts and predictions we did for the price movements in the Bitcoin and alts has been going pretty nicely in the last 7 weeks. Let me start with a little bit of macro outlook. Usually we look what is going on the US 10-year yields. Let me just show you the chart kind of unglared so you can see it. So still not much going on. We have been listening to the Fed last week. Janet Yellen has backed up her statement done in last couple of days that she thinks that the rate should go higher. And anyhow, we are still not seeing anything impulsive on the downside. I think support levels are around 1.3, 1.4. I'm going to look very carefully, as I said in the last shows, these two levels of 1.7 and close to 2%. And I think more before than later, we are going to see a new probable kind of a retest of these levels and maybe even a penetration on the upside towards 2.3. So let's wait and see what is going on the supply side. There has been a lot of inflationary pressures. COVID is still raging around the world, but the vaccination process in the United States is going well. We are hearing news about the new stimulus, and I think we are going to go into a little bit more inflationary scenario, which kind of agrees with our possible correction on cryptos, with a little bit rates higher and stock markets lower. So just a temporary one, I think. I think also, and I agree with Jerome Powell, that inflationary pressures will be of a temporary nature. So let's look a little bit of dollar index. Nothing much there. We are still observing this kind of a consolidation here, potentially several wave counts we have on this from the Elliott wave perspective. This can be a kind of a leading diagonal in A, or it can be a complex WXY on the upside. This can also morph into a triangle, but as long as 89.50 holds, I will still look for a dollar to be a kind of a sideways movement before we go potentially in June, July, kind of a potentially from the sideways consolidation hiking on the upside towards this 94, 97 levels. Okay, so let's go to the cryptos, and I have a few things which popped out, which I think is very significant. This is one of them. Germany allows institutional funds to invest in cryptos, and over 4,000 institutional investment funds will be able to invest as much as 20% of their portfolio in cryptocurrencies, starting from 1st of June. Sorry, 1st of July. And I think that's also very significant because we see some of the countries are leaning towards banning cryptos altogether, and the other one in a more developed world are seeing of a more adoption and more legislation regarding cryptos, which is very good for the space. So I will really see this news for the last week as the major one. On the coin desk regarding the news, we don't see much of the news today. We are seeing kind of a simple, not very kind of a drastic news, which we are seeing in the last couple of weeks. Just the usual developments in the crypto space, so I will not go for any news today regarding that. Let's look something which happened on the market cap. The Dogecoin, famous one, is now already at the 4th place below the Binance coin. So this is one of a big jump in a Dogecoin, and there has been many comments about this in the financial news. I will go back to the Dogecoin chart later. So we were kind of looking for a move on the upside before the larger correction comes, and that is in progress. What else I can show you here? I can show you some of the measures that I'm tracking regarding some of the metrics beside the Elliott wave. And this is the pool multiple, which usually comes regarding the miners selling their positions and selling their crypto kind of holdings. This is for, it's kind of a pretty nicely done regarding the highs in the past. You will see we reached some of the levels, but we are still not there. We have a little bit more to come on the upside to kind of come in this red zone. We also have a stock to flow model, which shows and agrees with our level around 75-80K in this run before some of the kind of a crypto small winter starts again and a new highs are achieved there. Peace cycle top indicator is crossing on the higher time frame, so this also agrees with our view that we are going to have a little bit of pullbacks in cryptos, and I will show you that on the charts. Also, I would like to show you a Bitcoin dominance chart, which is kind of reaching the levels we showed the last time in the crypto lab. We are exactly at 1618 projection for this wave 3, and we are seeing a nice attempt of the bounce. Also the RSI on this chart where we compare Bitcoin relative to other altcoins are going to, I think, see a corrective move on the upside before we see this altogether 5-wave move in a flat completes on a lower level. So the alt season on the upside is still not finished. I just think that for a period of time, Bitcoin will kind of outperform alts for this 4th wave pullback. So let's go to the charts and let's see what has happened from the last time we were looking cryptos. So you know, probably if you are on this channel, this is my outlook for the Bitcoin from these levels around January 2019. I've been looking this in a firm 5 waves on the upside, relatively simple ABC pullback on the downside. We went above this base channel and the quality because we track these fib ratios on the upside regarding the potential targets. This base channel and the quality are a kind of a measured move, and we penetrated that on the upside, and we are trading in the range as I showed you in the last time, with the potential one more move to this 200%, which goes from 74 to kind of a 80K, which agrees with the previous metrics that I showed you. So we also track this to kind of have a confirmation, possible confirmation regarding our outlook. I also showed you the last time this chart, which is very interesting regarding the monthly RSI. So I pointed out what happened in the past, why I think we are going to see the same thing in the next couple of months. So a corrective pullback and then a continuation on the upside, which agrees with our overall wave count. So this wave count here shows you a potential wave 3 target, because I don't think we can go with another trillion market cap as we see in some targets called for the 2021 which kind of depicts 180 to 100K. I don't think that will happen before we have a little bit of rest in a Bitcoin, either in a complex correction or in a triangle. So what I'm seeing here potentially from this 74, 80K, from this consolidation here, I see kind of a little bit of a crypto winter, and here is the time where we measure how long the wave 2 corrective pullback compared to wave 4. Usually wave 4s are larger in this time span. They take more time, and they are kind of suggesting that the balance between sellers and buyers are going to be for some time before we start to trace out this last final move in the sequence on the upside on the smaller, larger scale, because we watch also the larger cycle. So this is just one part of this cycle. And we think that after this corrective pullback, we will see 150 to 180K in the years to come. So let's go on a smaller time frame. We are long with our members. Our entry was at 53,129 on this pullback. And we are starting potentially now to develop a more impulsive structure towards this target from 75 to 80K. We have trading desks in trading analysis. So over there we post all our trades, and this is our last kind of a trade desk information to our members where we took this long just to be transparent to all of the viewers. And our stops are at 47. This is the tier 4 risk. We have a very strict risk management at trading analysis. So we are looking for a tier 4, which means that the difference between our entry and our stop loss is 1 to 1.5% of the each trading account of our members. So we are keep going to monitoring this for a potential move up to 76, just a small pullback, or 75, and then a final push on the upside. One of the options still, if we hold this 43K, is a triangle. So we can have also a little bit more sideways, and we also are prepared for that option if we start to move a little bit more even sideways to a kind of a wedgie or a triangulation pattern, which might take a little bit more time before we see a final move on the upside. So a final conclusion, things has been not changed much on the Bitcoin. From the last crypto lab, we are still seeing a sideways consolidation with a kind of a more larger probability now that we are going to continue on the upside, because you don't see really a downside pressure here. As you can see, it's kind of a sideways consolidation, which I think it's going to resolve sooner than later higher. As long as this 43,153 levels holds. In the case we go down, I will have to revise my wave count and present you a new one. But for now, there is no danger of this event. I would like to also show you Ethereum, which has been moving on the upside pretty much. And it's the same picture. If you look, how do we structure that regarding the moves on the upside? One of the levels which has surpassed the 200% is 261.8, and that is a projection where we usually seek for a minor and higher degree of the trend to kind of find the Fibonacci zone from where we can see a correction. And in Ethereum, I think this comes from 4,300 to 4,800, from where I think this correction paired with the Bitcoin correction will start. But afterwards, we are going to get this huge move on the upside. We have two targets for now. One is around 10K, and the other is around 21K on the upside. So I think Ethereum, after this corrective pullback, in which form we will see, is going to move with one more fabulous upside projection targets, which are ranging from these levels which I already showed you. So the wave count is relatively simple. We have 5 waves up in one, also a very sharp move down in a wave 2, and when we subdivide with our fib ratios this current move on the upside, it has all characteristics of the third wave. So as you can see here, the steepness of the move is relatively very visible. So you can see the steepness is around almost close to, it's not 90 degrees, but it is around between 80 and 90 degrees, which is showing us the presence of the third wave. If we go on a smaller time frame, we see also the same thing, a small consolidation before we start moving further upside to these targets. So if you like to see more of our work, you can join us at Trading Analysis. We have a very good community of traders in Discord where we exchange charts, potential trades, and everything else. So very knowledgeable community, traders from all sides of the world, where we discuss and present charts. We also have a crypto chart room. We have a members webinar, which usually goes every Tuesday for 2.5 hours. We have a trade desk, and we have a cryptocurrency repository, where if you have a multi-wave, which is a beautiful platform that we use, where you can have directly my wave counts on your platform if you are using it. And also we have a trading analysis trading app, where we send trades that we do to our members so they can choose are they going to do it or not. Okay, so let's look a little bit of situation in alts, which I presented last time, and then I will go to your requests. So we have been going through several alts where we saw a very nice long opportunity, and one of them is ADA or Cardano, which is working very nicely on the upside. We presented in the last Crypto Lab this potential fourth wave pullback, and if you see a larger time frame, it also agrees with these fib targets. With the Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are looking this as a potential green wave 3 finishing around 2.5, 2.7, and we are seeing a very nice push on the upside from this possible orange wave 4, and it is now developing, as you can see on 3-hour chart, very nicely in a potential 1-2-1-2 on the upside, eyeing this nice movement towards this target that we have for a long time now for ADA. Let's look Dogecoin, which was very popular. We flagged the potential triangle here or the move on the upside. As you can see, we subdivided in a 1-2-1-2 possible situation. We moved on the upside. I think we will see a little bit of a correction there before we see this fourth wave unfold and then a final push towards this target. So I don't think that the Dogecoin has a much move on the upside. I'm seeing some of them are calling some really big targets on the Dogecoin. I don't think this will be at least for the time being possible, because we are going to come very soon in a very thick fib zone, which is around 111, and as you can see, we already see some of divergence between this wave 3 and wave 5 on the RSI, which is usually a sign that we have a little, maybe a couple of weeks to go on the upside, and then when we reach close to these levels, we should go and also correct pretty heavily, I think, on a Dogecoin back to 0.20, 0.30, from where depends which type of a pattern we will see, and then it will trace out with the rest of the crypto space a final fifth wave on the upside. So the move and the trend is still on the upside, but I expect in a couple of weeks that we see this a little bit of crypto winter starting on many of these cryptos, as you can see on the alts. Polkadot is doing also very nicely. It is still needs to take some traction, but for now our wave count still is working pretty nice from this possible wave 4 pullback. We are seeing continuation on the upside, which is also very visible on the smaller time frame. I think very soon we are going to go above these highs and we are going to trace out the final 5-way push on the upside. And as you can see, all the space, pretty much the same thing. Matic, we also flagged this very nice pullback down on this trend line on a base channel in this wave 4. We had a multiple move in percentage on the upside from this level. From 0.3, we are trading at 0.77, and I think this will further continue towards our target. What I can show you more, I see many of the people was asking the XRP. From this corrective pullback, we looked, I think 2 weeks ago, we are developing impulsive structure on the upside. So I think the XRP possibly, as long as we hold this last kind of a region between 1.3, 1.5, I think has a kind of a larger probability to continue towards this target around, let's say 3.1, 3.5. Provided we see a further move and continuation, which is kind of a signaling potentially right now. So if you go on a smaller time frame, we are looking for a possible expansion on the upside in this possible wave 3 with a kind of a thick zone of the resistance that we are going to watch very carefully. I also wanted to revisit something which I flagged almost a couple of months ago, and that is a compound. If you look the crypto labs in December, I was looking compound to go much higher, and we surely saw that move around 150. We were warning that the compound might continue higher, and that happened very nicely. I think this trend is still not finished, maybe a little bit more upside, and then the compound will as well go through a corrective process back to this 450, 525. I will just drop in a sushi swap, which is also showing a very nice push from this 4th wave pullback in a potential final sequence. So as you can see, a lot of this crypto space with the alts and the Bitcoin are aligning pretty nicely. Some of them are a little bit late on this move on the upside, but I think they will catch up. We have seen a very nice move on a Bitcoin Cash on the upside in the last 2 days. Potential small pullback and then a continuation there. So most of them are kind of aligning with our outlook that in a couple of weeks we are going to see these moves complete, and that we are going to go in a larger corrective process in this possible wave 4. So let me go to your questions and comments. Let me see, what would you like us to look for you? Yeah, you like the crypto keeper, so Todd will be happy. I don't like it at all. So let me see, what would you like to see? Gold. Sorry, Mullah, we don't do gold here. This is a kind of a crypto dedicated space. We did, I think, gold yesterday, or we missed it, so we're gonna do that next week in the trading analysis stock public YouTube channel we have every Wednesday with the Todd and the team, Bennett and Terry. We go through the other stuff, and this is only reserved for crypto, so sorry on that. Zilliqa is going good. It is moving from our 4th wave pullback. I think we presented that last time as well. It is starting to push impulsively on the upside, so I'm still okay with Zilliqa for now. It has a very nice pattern. The trend is not changed. We are still moving on the upside, so I think more upside towards this 1618 is possible as long as we hold this last low support here around 0.1175. So that will be my support and a key level which I will look. I think Theta is also developing nicely. I still need to see more upside. So let me look. What would you like to see more? Binance coin, okay, so Binance, we were looking for an upside continuation after a triangle, and this is going well now. I think Binance chart looks very nice for the future, although I think we will see, I think that the majority of this very sharp third wave is about to finish soon, but this Binance coin is subdividing a little bit different from the other cryptos because we have a 1-2 situation here and a very nice follow-up in this move on the upside in a third wave. So as you can see, and I repeat that over and over, the kind of angle of attack in the third waves are very steep. From the breakout here, you can see the steepness almost 90 degrees. On the upside with a small correction, I still think we are not finished. If we drill down to a smaller time frame, I have a target around 1000, potentially after this triangle and some of the hesitation here, we might see continuation on the upside. My support level will be around kind of at these levels at 550 to 600, so I don't want this to be break. I want to see more expansion on the upside, but definitely this zone around 501 will be my key points, and the wave counting validation is far below 428. So for now it's developing nicely. Nice impulsive structure on the upside, maybe a little bit more pullback, but I still expect to see a further expansion and a fractal expansion on the upside towards this 813 or 1000 levels to follow. Okay, so I see you have a lot of requests. We cannot do them all. I apologize about that. We have to be a little bit shorter regarding crypto lab. We used to go 1 hour and even more. So let me just see one or two your requests and go back to the Bitcoin, do a little bit more follow up, and then we will close. So let me choose one from the list you asked. Kai, okay, Dogen is asking for Kai. I don't have Kai here, so I will do it here on a Coinbase. So let me just look the wave structure on Kai. Yeah, as you can see, a pretty nice kind of a wave structure, but potentially this can be 1, 2, up in 3, down in 4, and we are kind of tracing potentially a last move on the upside, so be aware of a corrective pullback here. I will look also Nano, because I see you wanted to see it. So Nano is still in a 3-wave move. We didn't see a follow-up. Potentially we might from this last kind of a corrective pullback. So as you can see, if we label this as an impulsive move on the upside, we can expect this 4.4 to potentially be a support for a further continuation. So watch this 4.22. If it is break on the downside, I think that this was just a pullback and we will see more lower levels. So this will be my key level to watch. Also, you might go a little bit sideways here because the second wave was a kind of a little bit longer. So I expect more, not yet a decision move. So we might see a sideway and then a continuation. But watch this 4.2, 4.5 levels for the potential kind of a support and then continuation on the upside. Yeah, hello Jvali. I already looked Matic. It looks very good, as I showed. Yeah, Theta, we have been still bullish on Theta. So as I said, just showed you, this is a very progressed wave count on the upside. So I'm going to be looking for another push, but don't expect this to be I think very long on the upside. We are already close to some of the targets, although because we do a log scale on these higher time frames, the difference between 1618 projection and 200 are 18 and 52. I personally suspect we will go to 52 immediately. If you see the wave progression here, we are already long way on the upside, and Theta also needs to rest a little bit. I mean, there has been a staggering move, if you can see, so don't expect, I think, more. Something around 1820 from where I expect a pullback to back to, let's say, 657, and then a continuation on the upside. So in my book, it still looks good, but I will be careful around these levels. If it goes on the upside, I will just leave it and follow it with my stops on the every pullback until it's finally stopped me out. But it still looks good. I mean, for now, it still looks progressive. We might go a little bit more sideways in a triangle, but I see kind of a five-way move from this low. So I think potentially from here a little bit lower, Theta might continue to work its way towards this target. So for now, it looks good. Only 3 waves down. Crow, yeah, we have been tracking Crow. Crow has one of the peculiar structures. Let me just look for Crow, and as I said, Crow is in a very sideways motion in Elliott wave. We call this pattern potentially as a leading diagonal, and I said it a few times before. I expect a Crow to kind of holds here, maybe this low, maybe a little bit lower. But if this is a leading diagonal, which might very well be, we might see potentially a nice move on the upside. So watch, as you can see, RSI on daily, it's coming very close to 38, and we have not been seeing here a very rapid move on the downside, more of a sideways price action. So potentially Crow might break out on the upside. So be watchful of that. Lots of indecision here, and we are moving down in the RSI, and we are not moving down in price. So that's usually a good sign over the top of the wave count you draw. So so we might see more upside on Crow. Looks nice. Hey, Hypercoin, how you doing? I'm glad we see new faces there. What are you trading, Hypercoin? Yeah. Let me look. Yeah, we already looked Crow. Okay, guys, so let's revise our Bitcoin cake. Okay, let's do Pancake as the last one. And let's revise the Bitcoin once more. So Pancake, as you can see, the wave count stayed from the last time. We didn't touch it much. It's working pretty nice. I think we flagged this fourth wave correction very nicely, and we have seen the upside move in this potential wave 3. So very nice subdivision, steep third wave, very long first wave, corrective pullback, and then a very nice 5-wave pattern is developing here. A little bit more upside, I will say, before we struck this potential orange wave 3, from where we can go in a corrective pullback and then complete the whole sequence in this orange wave 5 before we go in a corrective pullback a little bit more. So I didn't lock this down, so that's why actually this happened. So let me just lock it down so you can see it much more easily. Anyhow, if we throw some fib ratios here, we can look the potential target for the wave 3. I don't like to measure such a long wave 1, so I will take kind of a little bit more conservative move in this wave 1 because it is depicting too much on the upside. So I would like to see a little bit more. I'm not that spectacular in nature, so I will not like to see the 1618 projection. Even if you lift it here, it's going to be very high. I don't want to be that spectacular, so potentially even I might more see inequality here. It will be more natural regarding the movement, which is around there. If we do here around 724, which will align with this wave 3, we go in a pullback in a wave 4, and then finally complete the whole sequence before the larger pullback. So my whole point, guys, if you can see all of these charts, which kind of aligns together, even on alts, let alone Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see we are approaching the phase of a possible completion of this very large expansion of these patterns, which are depicted in our charts as a third wave. So most of them are suggesting that our overall thesis, looking from the macro perspective, a possible kind of a good year in a vaccination process. People will go out of the screens. They will spend some of the crypto money they earned going traveling, going out. If the situation becomes more and more tolerable towards end of 2021, we might also see some potential interest rate announcements in June or July Fed's meeting if the inflation kicks out more. So I think from different perspective we are kind of sending message that all of these parameters and all of the macro environment and all of the technicals we see, we are kind of looking for a little bit more upside in all of these cryptos, and then kind of a larger pullback before we see a continuation of this trend. This trend on the upside is still not finished, and we are just going to look for a pause before we continue higher, although we think that this pause will take some time to unfold. Okay, no swag. I still have to work out this we thought. We are planning to do one trade live a week publicly. So we are still setting that up. You will be informed. It will be live on this channel. So once a time in a week, I don't know if I'm going to choose specific time or I'm going to do where I see a possible trade setup, and you can click notification and you can be notified where this will be announced, but it will be a kind of a 15-minute breakdown of a possible trade, which we will take also publicly on our account. And we will probably do that once a week, where we spot a shorter term or a longer term opportunity. So it's going to be kind of a public display of how of all of this analysis kind of transmute into a kind of a trading position. Okay, guys, so I think that will be all for this crypto lab. I'm just going to revisit one more Bitcoin and remind you also what has kind of wrap it up with this outlook. And I remind my members always about this picture. And also you notice that I mentioned in the last couple of crypto labs these corrections, which are starting to be more frequent. As you can see, this one appeared, and then shortly afterwards we had this one, and then another hesitation. So how you should interpret this when you see this on a trading chart is that potentially the bulls are starting to wane and bears are starting to come into the game slowly. And also specifically, if we get triangle here, triangles are warning us, especially in the fourth wave, that this might be the last sequence of this higher degree wave count. So I'm just kind of warning you that potentially, as long as this chart pattern holds and nothing changed, which will make me change the whole pattern and the outlook, will kind of give us a nice probability that we will have one more push on the upside, and then we will go into this correction, which is going to be welcomed by me and probably by many kind of skilled traders. But for the people which have no perspective of what is going on, kind of new babies, this will be a kind of a treacherous time trying to catch this kind of a nice range moves. Corrective patterns are very difficult to trade, especially from the point of risk. You need a lot of skills, so I will not recommend you to do that. If we get a triangle here, this will be also a nice welcome thing, because this triangle will have a pretty nice range. It should look something like this. This is just a hypothesis, of course. And we also should be cognizant of these time labels, which measures wave 2 corrections and wave 4 corrections, so that we can have a perspective potentially, and if we are gonna get this correction, where potentially it might finish around these zones from equality to 1618 time measurements. So we are looking, provided this correction starts something around February 5, 2022, and then let's say we start from May or June, July, a little bit later, this corrective pullback, we will go until the next year and even mid of the next year with this correction unfolding before we start to move higher. So I just think we should have this in perspective and don't get hyped regarding the possible move further on the upside. Of course, if these levels are broken heavily, I will have to say I was wrong and remodel my kind of analysis and pattern-wise what I'm tracking here. So I wish you a nice week with this outlook. We still stay bullish. The wave counts are working pretty nicely. From the last time we are long Bitcoin, our members are long on many other alts. Actually, we have a member which is long per hour chart on Ethereum for 102. Can you imagine? He was holding Ether from all of these times, and I really want to salute him publicly about this. It takes a lot of nerves and kind of a lot of stamina to hold Ether from 100 entry to all of this move, and he's still holding it. So he knows who he is. So all kudos to you, man, for holding this so long. I mean, that's the way how some of these things should be traded. So I'm also glad you kind of looked our charts and had being confident in our wave count. So I think that was a very nice trade. Anyhow. Okay, guys, so that will be all for this Crypto Lab. So see you in the next week, Thursday. I don't know if we're going to include for the next week trading, but in a couple of weeks, this should be available. If you like to check us out at Trading Analysis, you can visit our website. You can also sign in for a trial membership just to have a feel. We don't have a full monthly membership. We have a 14 days trial, which is I think around 15 or 25 bucks. So you can just get a feel what we do there. A very skilled and one of the best teams out there regarding the Elliott Wave methodology and other mathematical metrics that we follow regarding the stocks, forex, and cryptos. So if you are interested, you can check us out. We're going to track further our wave counts and let you know next week what has been unfolding. So stay well, stay sound, and please give us a feedback regarding the Crypto Keeper, a new Crypto Lab, kind of a trademark. So if you like that, I'm more happy to include it. So see you next week, guys, and trade well and trade carefully. Bye bye.